Okay.
Al Horford.
Oh.
Looking like a quarterback with that pass to Jaylen Brown. Did you know he had it in him?
No, I didn't know that. That's a hell of a pass, though. That is a hell of a pass.
I mean, it's straight on, perfect timing. Look, if the Patriots need a backup quarterback,
Big Al.
Big Al's ready.
He does
He's a little
everything.
tall in the pocket, though. I don't know about that.
You don't have to move that much, though.
Well, now that we're talking football, now that we're talking passes, let's get the football. Packers have big shoes to fill after trading Davante Adams in March. Sammy Watkins, who won a Super Bowl in 2019 with the Chiefs, is going to look to answer the bell, perhaps in a big way. Matt LaFleur and Watkins talked about his role in the offense. Take a listen.
I don't think his game has fallen off at all since we were together in 2017. I just, a little bit has been maybe a little bit lack of opportunity. He's going to be a big part of our offense.
My career haven't been what I projected to be, and it's a great opportunity for me to come here, play hard, catch a ton of balls, and fight to stay healthy. That's been the knock on my career.
Yeah, that's been a big knock on his career. Let's bring in RC, Dan Graziano, now with us. All right, Dan, I'll start with you. Sammy Watkins has some big shoes to fill if he's trying to fill the void left by Davante Adams. Can he do it?
Well, no. I mean, he's not going to catch 120 balls or get 150, 160 targets. That wouldn't make sense given his injury history, as he referred to there. And, he's not a one-for-one replacement for Davante Adams. Sammy Watkins is a good player. I think Matt LaFleur plans for him to be a big part of the offense, but that means something beyond just volume of catches and yards and touchdowns. Sammy Watkins does a lot of different things receivers do. He's a good blocker in the run game. He's willing to run all the different routes. I think he'll be a quick favorite of Aaron Rodgers because of his experience level relative to the other guys on the team. But I would be very surprised if this is a number one wide receiver situation that looks anything like it did with Davante Adams. I think the Packers are going to have to run their offense differently this year.
Okay, so RC, when you look at this, how do you think the Packers offense might look different without Adams and trying to work in all the things that Watkins does well?
Well, sometimes when you have a guy like Davante Adams, you become dependent on them. And we've seen Davante Adams absolutely take over games along with Aaron Rodgers. And this team was sort of pass happy at times. I believe that changes. I believe you look more at Aaron Ross and A.J. Dillon, and this becomes a team that's a run-first team, move into the play-action pass, allow some of these guys to get in position where they can create separation by what you do schematically. And let's think, they went defense with their first two picks in the first round this year. This team is playing different. Eric Stokes was drafted last year at corner in the first round. You signed Jair Alexander to an extension. This is a team that now understands they may be morphing into something new that isn't pass happy. And that's okay because it's about winning. They will have a receiver group or a skill group that does it by committee, a quarterback that can show up in the big time moments, and a defense that could get stops. It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers this year. It's going to be run the ball. It's going to be defense and Aaron Rodgers when you need him to be one of the best quarterbacks that ever lived. I believe that's the formula for the Green Bay Packers to win this year.
So then let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up, that it's going to be maybe a little more run balance, but also he's going to have to spread it out a lot. I think Teddy Bruschi said it to me earlier this week that Aaron Rodgers might actually be better without Adams because he's going to spread the ball around more. What do you make of that, RC?
So here's why that's hard. First off, Teddy's a stinking genius. I'm not necessarily arguing with Teddy. I'm just trying to figure out, and like the people say, make it make sense. Because here's what I do know. If he's going to be better, let's think about who he's been the last 2 years while Davante Adams has also been an All-Pro. He's the reigning two-time MVP. I don't believe he puts up reigning MVP numbers. I believe those numbers fall back a little bit. There'll still be great touchdown to interception ratio. He'll still throw for a lot of yards because he's Aaron Rodgers, but I don't believe he's going to be what drives this team play in and play out. I think those numbers come back, but as a team and the offense, they can be more successful and maybe go further by understanding the balance of what they need to be.
All right. I like it. You got the diplomatic RC today. Teddy's a genius. I like that. We'll see if that continues as the show goes on. Dan Graziano, let's run the area. Let's talk about, starting with Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, the latest Los Angeles Rams star to get a contract extension. Rams extend him out 3 more years beyond the 2 he had left on his contract. throw him about $75 million worth of guaranteed money, according to our Adam Schefter. A couple days after they paid Aaron Donald, they take care of the Super Bowl MVP. Rams continuing to keep their veteran star core together, try and make another run at this. One of the teams trying to catch them is the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, their quarterback for the last few years, had shoulder surgery in March. The Niners expect him to be able to start throwing again next month, and their hope is that once that happens, they'll get teams interested in trading for him. The Niners have to trade or release Garoppolo before week 1 in order to clear cap space to do Deebo Samuel and Nick Bosa extensions, so keep a close eye on that situation. And speaking of quarterbacks that are no longer going to be with their team, Baker Mayfield, the Browns announcing yesterday that they and he have mutually agreed to excuse him from the mandatory minicamp next week, which means Baker won't be around. We know that the Browns traded for and signed Deshaun Watson, have Jacoby Brissett to back him up. Baker Mayfield wants out. They want him out. They'll continue to try and find a trade, but that guaranteed salary of his of almost $19 million has held up a lot of those trade discussions so far.
Yeah, not a lot when you got not a lot they can do when they have that situation. So, RC, what's your big picture view on the situation that is Baker and the Browns?
Oh man, it's such a trash situation. It really is. When you start to look at more things that surround and come out about what this team will be going through with this new quarterback, Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield in a position right now where a team would have to pay too much for him or maybe give up too much for him to get him, and they don't believe that he's worth it. But they also know the Browns have to get rid of him. Baker Mayfield can't walk back into this locker room as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. He can't be in that quarterback room. He can't be around that building because it will be toxic. He's already said he feels disrespected. The Cleveland Browns already said they don't want him and they can't use him, so he has to go. I believe they put themselves in a situation where they can't get themselves out of it. It's going to take another team to step up and say, we want Baker Mayfield or need Baker Mayfield enough to give you anything. And also the Browns are going to have to come up on what part of their salary or his salary they'll pay. Every time something comes out about Deshaun Watson, it gets worse. Every day Baker Mayfield is on that team, it gets worse. And I don't see either of those things ending anytime soon. So if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, strap in. It's going to be misery on top of misery, at least for a little while.
Very difficult situation when you talk about everything going on there. Guys, thank you so much. And the lawyer representing all 24 women who have filed civil lawsuits against Deshaun Watson says he intends to add the Houston Texans as defendants in the suit. Tony Busby made that announcement after the New York Times reported that non-disclosure agreements Watson gave to some of his massage therapists to sign came from Texans' director of security. The Times also reported that the Texans provided a hotel room at the Houstonian where several of the massages took place. The NFL is still investigating Watson, who is not facing criminal charges. Coming up, Steph.